How's it going, everybody? I am Donut, and we are back for Season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Episode 1, Laws of Nature. So, what are my predictions for this series, or for this season? What do I think is going to happen this episode based off that title? Based off that title, let's just get to that really quick. Laws of Nature, I think it's going to be some sort of Inhuman's power, or multiple Inhuman's powers that are breaking the laws of nature. That sort of thing. Getting into the wild, wacky, Inhumans shit. I feel like we're definitely going to start getting into this season. Now the fish pills are all out there and all that. Let's talk about... I think overall this season, it's going to be half... In the first 10 episodes, be about, like, the Inhuman sort of stuff, maybe. And then after that, I think we'll do the Ward-focused stuff. I think we're going to put Ward on the back burner until we get to the second half of the season. Similar to what we have done each season. Like, the big Ward focus of the season always comes in the second half. It seems like, in the past 2 seasons. So, that's my prediction. Last season, we had the whole Coulson and the other S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff going on, and there was a lot of back and forth between me and the community and all this sort of stuff. So, going into Season 3, I'm going to just have to suspend my disbelief. As I have said before, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has done such an incredible job about being so realistic that it's been hard for me to accept that the universe would, that the characters in universe would allow Coulson to be the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. I personally have no problem with it, because I'm thinking of it in a meta sense. But it's wild to me in universe that these characters are able to go past that at this point. Like, I do think that it seems to be a thing of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is incredibly fast-paced in what it wants to do, and then the rest of the MCU is kind of catching up to it. So, I have to suspend my disbelief a lot of times with how characters are reacting to things, because it just doesn't seem... they were really good about it at the beginning, but now it just doesn't seem realistic in the way that a lot of characters are reacting to things. Like Coulson being the leader. But again, I'm going to suspend my disbelief for it. Whatever, I'm going to have to, you know, think about it a little bit differently. But whatever. All that aside, it's going to be hard to, like, root for, like, when, you know, if S.H.I.E.L.D. is still doing the fucked up stuff. That's also the other problem. You know, with this new S.H.I.E.L.D., hopefully they can be doing a, you know, better job. But otherwise, it does seem like the show is anti-S.H.I.E.L.D. It does seem like the backbone of the series is you are not supposed to like S.H.I.E.L.D. wholeheartedly. You're always supposed to be like, yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. is cool, but they're pretty fucked up. It's weird to me that a lot of the audience doesn't seem to have that opinion, but I feel like that's what the show is definitely trying to make me feel, and they're doing a very good job of making me feel like S.H.I.E.L.D. is extremely fucked up, and I don't want to really root for them wholeheartedly. But, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So, anything else I want to say before we get into this? I don't think so. You know, I talk a lot, I'll say, I talk a hell of a lot about the, you know, MCU as a universe, and people have a big problem with that. People don't like me talking about the universe as a whole. I don't know why, but everybody seems to want me to react to these shows by themselves and, you know, consider them all their own thing and not even try and think about them in terms of a bigger universe. But that's not how I enjoy doing this. I am watching everything in order. If you want to see the order we're watching it in, by the way, we're watching all the shows in and movies and blah, blah, blah. You can check that out in the description. But yeah, I am going to continue doing that. So if you don't like me doing that, sorry, but that's how I prefer watching these shows. It's how I prefer watching the whole MCU. Even if there's not going to be a connectivity between the thing, I like making the connectivity in my head. So even if I say something like, oh, this is related to this from this other show or whatever, even if the creators didn't intend that, that doesn't mean that I am not going to still say that thing, because in my mind, in the universe, it still works. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like in Ant-Man, I was, you know, joking a lot about Tiny Ward, like Hydra getting their hands on the PIM particles, that's what it's called, and Yeah, like that getting into the hands of Ward, and then in season 3 we get Tiny Ward. I was obviously joking, but still, people have such a problem whenever I do anything like that. But so I wanted to address it. Half the time I'm joking, the other half the time it's just like, yeah, I know it's not actually going to come up, but it's still, you know, fun to think about. So, that rant aside, let's actually get into this episode. If you want to see the full length for this one, check it out in the description below. It's not $8 anymore. You can check out this one, full length, for $4. If you want the early access, you want the next one, and you want the full length, that's $8. But if you just want this one that's up on YouTube, full length, it's only $4. Very cheap. Go check it out. For all my other shows, you know, whatever, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you gotta get the full length. It's $4, you gotta get the full length. It's just too much going on in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for me to cut it up and put it on YouTube. It's so difficult. It's the hardest show I have to cut up. Go get the full length. I try to make it as cheap as possible. Alright, let's jump into this episode now. Finally. God, I'm so excited. Okay, no. Before we actually start, I still want to give a little bit more predictions. So, how the episode is going to start, like how it's going to actually first scene and everything. I think we're going to have a callback to like season 1, you know, a couple times they did in season 2, but I think we're going to start with Wallace and Nature and everything, start in like a park, like a public park, like a, you know, like a big one, like a Yellowstone or Grand Canyon, like, you know, a big public park. And it's going to be some sort of like Bonnie and Clyde-esque two Inhumans doing some shit. And then we're going to, and then I wonder if they're still going to do the same thing they did in like season 2, where of course this season we're going to get more new S.H.I.E.L.D. characters. But are they going to introduce them right off the bat like they did last time? Could be that. Again, the park thing feels like a good callback to season 1. I can totally see that. I don't know if it'd be one Inhuman, two Inhumans, sort of Bonnie and Clyde. That's a real, like, just wild out there guess, because I have nothing to stake on which one it might be. That's my guess. Also, you know, a lot of the characters we do know are probably going to be in a pretty depressing state because they, assumingly, have seen the footage of what happened to Simmons, and we got to deal with that too. So, probably focus on our new characters for a bit because our old characters are probably depressed right now. That's my guess. So, let us actually start the episode now. Sorry, I keep delaying it, but I want to get all these thoughts out while I can. Alright, let's go. So, guy, just random person eating fish pills. And breaks out. Riding a Harley, had a family, maybe still does not anymore, I don't know. Oh yeah. Okay. Big problem. This guy. Is this him? I think so. I think he's accidentally doing this. Oh! So he melts things if he touches. Oh my god. And it chains? Maybe not. I thought it was going up the whole thing. Terrifying, man.
I'm just trying to get to the hospital, please! Hands in the air! Now!
We have the alien threat surrounded. 5th between Pike and Union. He's in our sights, man.
Oh, this is terrifying. And who is this?
I'll do whatever you say.
Is this just the military?
Please don't hurt me. Honestly, I don't know.
Oh, he's gonna melt the car.
What's
Whoa!
happening to me?
So it's heat, maybe. Because, I don't know. But their guns melted too? Even though they touched the car. Weird ability, I like it. Don't touch it. Oh, it's just metal. Okay. Whoa. So it's just metal control in general, maybe. No, this is Sky. Holy shit, Sky. God damn. Dope look, too. Wow.
What's your name?
Already rooting for S.H.I.E.L.D. a lot more now.
Joey.
Joey. Okay, my name's Daisy. I'm with S.H.I.E.L.D. We're here for your protection.
Yeah, I should be calling her Daisy now.
You're gonna want to stand more clear of that, mate.
Okay, that's
I know
new.
it's a lot to take in, but right now you have very few options and 0 time, so please just go with it.
We'll be right there with you. It's not like this day can get any crazier, right?
Right?
Wrong. Is this like the...
I take that back.
Yeah. It's like the room on the bus. The walls. Dude. Hell yeah. This, oh yeah, this is much different than the bus. But I assume it is still the bus. Like, are we still gonna call it the bus? Okay. Interesting new intro there. I actually kind of want to really look at that again. Seems maybe like the Terrigenesis? Maybe?
Why isn't this box liquefying, or this plane, or whatever the hell this is?
It's polytechnic adaptive materials. Each module can be customized.
Oh, dope.
You're safe in there, and we're safe from you.
Okay.
I don't feel safe. I feel like my skin's crawling and my organs are shifting. And...
Joy, just take a breath.
Ah, is it like happening? Is that why it's so crazy at first? Like it is, your body is like undergoing changes while this is all happening. That's why it's, you know, becomes less crazy over time, I guess. Interesting.
Do you take vitamins every day, Joey? Fish oil?
It's cool that they're already onto the fish pills.
Third incident already this month, but at least we're
Only
able to get our
third,
hands
okay.
on this one. This new aircraft can stay in the air much longer than the old plane.
That's
Days,
good.
really, so rapid response anywhere is
You
Nice.
love your new toy, don't you?
I very much love my new toy. Even with the mind-boggling range on this puppy.
Inhumans are still disappearing.
He's the first one in a while we've been able to secure.
Well, it's no mystery who's taking
Okay.
them. That Black Ops group was there before us.
I know.
Yeah, so
Again,
not
wherever
military,
they are.
but
How many do you think they've taken?
We know of at least 5 sightings, 5 individuals who vanished before we could get to them. But the real mystery is who's running that group.
yeah. I don't think Hydra. I don't know. I don't have any like guess off the top of my head.
I don't like that one of them got away.
So maybe she herself is an Inhuman. Okay. Whatever. I don't know if that guy got punched. It looked like it burst out of him, actually. Something. Nobody's talking about Sones yet. Nobody's mentioned that. But it's been a bit. It's had a time skip.
Who the hell are you?
So Bobby's like the
My name's
nurse,
Bobby.
essentially.
I did see enough to know that you're generally more concerned for others than you are for yourself.
It's good. It's good that they got that guy here.
Did I hurt anyone?
I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm glad they're being
There have been
honest.
no reported fatalities.
Head downstairs. That's this guy with intake.
Daisy.
Daisy, damn it. Hard for us to get used to, huh?
No, just you.
Okay, so what do we know about this Jose Gutierrez?
There exists a small percentage of the population with a dormant alien gene mixed into their DNA. There's a chemical compound that activates this gene, giving them unnatural abilities.
Okay.
This chemical compound, called Terrigen, was recently released into
I like
our
this guy a
ecosystem.
lot.
And you, Joey, are one of the first people with this gene to come into contact with it.
This is insane to be told, oh yeah, you've been part alien your whole life. And now it's just coming out. And now you have also abilities.
At least it's a good drinking story. I can't wait to tell my friends.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait.
What does that mean?
We can't let you leave before we know you have your abilities under control.
And even then, only if we decide you're stable enough not to use them unless absolutely necessary. And even then,
We can't let you go back.
What do you mean even then we? No, there should not be an even then we.
I'm so sorry. It's just the reality.
Alright, is that just because the Black Ops group, or...
S.H.I.E.L.D. will set you up with a new
Well, I
identity.
like my life.
It's not like anybody else
It has
knows.
taken me a long time to get here, to build a life where I'm actually comfortable, much less happy. I'm not about to toss it.
Are unsure what to call this, whether it was a calculated alien attack or an experiment gone wrong.
Get too close, but he was a Latino guy. Normal. He had this crazy look in his eyes.
That a manhunt is underway.
Ah, great. Yeah, he might be on camera. I didn't think about that.
Let me out.
Joey,
I don't
you
want to
lose
be
control.
Let me out. Let me out. Let me
Ah, that was way too much. You had a clipboard there, like, well, it's not like he was gonna do anything. His powers, that was not needed.
Fire though!
Jesus, Bobby.
Without him, Hunter's not talking to me.
After everything from last season, yeah, there gotta be some awkward
you know
shit.
why?
I do.
I hope you know what you're doing. And this doesn't end in complete disaster. Team's falling apart enough as it is. Can't afford any more trouble.
Is it something else?
Yusef, let's go.
Yikes. This is
No deal.
insane. He's changed so much.
I need to understand the properties of an ancient monolith. It was buried in the Yucatan after being dragged around the earth for a few hundred years, and originally found with it were artifacts, mostly worthless except one, a scroll casing over 1,000 years old. The casing holds a parchment which reportedly describes exactly what this monolith is. Which is what I want to know. And I tracked the scroll casing, not easy, through history to Mosul's Central Museum in Iraq. But it was taken by your extremist buddies when they ransacked the place this year.
Is this
Now I'm
related to the
90%
girl?
Sure it's in this room. So you can either hand it over in exchange for what's in there, or
The
you
woman.
can smell my guts in the sand and use the briefcase as a booster seat.
And he has no idea what is in this case either. It could just be nothing. He'd be totally bluffing. Okay. I love this ancient shit. This is dope. Yeah, I thought it was just the drone. Okay, I wish it said something.
Splinter bombs?
Oh, splinter
Very
bombs.
same used in the UN attack.
I thought they were his
Used to
drones.
kill
Never
Sunil
mind.
Bakshi. That name should mean something to you.
He's gonna try and use it on him. Okay. Gotcha, gotja. Yeah, there's no way he definitely had to have had a plan.
What are you doing? Come back! Stop!
He just takes the cab driver's car. I mean, yeah, get the hell out of there.
He's going nuts. Joey's having a tough time. Change is hard enough physically, but emotionally it's a whole other thing.
This fucking mug.
You told him best case scenario was his head blown off. I need help. And there's one person who's better at that than anyone.
Lincoln? You really want to go there again?
He can help with intake. Plus he understands physical change. He's a doctor, whereas we don't even know what medical treatments to give.
It's the only time she's alone all day.
Okay, I like that we're, yeah, just doing it in the moment. Again, though, I feel like she has something in her back pocket, too.
You were no trouble at all.
So she just planned it. Okay, yeah. Makes sense. There's no way that she, yeah, I was gonna say, she gotta have a plan. She gotta have something in her back pocket.
You tend to vanish, then materialize within the walls of a rival agency.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to a ghost.
Whereas I'm talking to a corpse.
So she knows.
I'm certainly not intimidated by you staking out my route home, resorting to KGB-style tactics of intimidation.
Seriously.
I get that you're trying to build a life here.
Yes, a normal life, so stay out of it.
But our heritage...
Let it die. I'm not taking orders from anyone anymore.
These altered humans are a threat.
I'm actually kind of liking Lincoln a lot more now.
The laws of nature have changed, and until the laws of man change to reflect that, we can only do what we feel is right.
I agree, I think.
I know you do. So I understand the trail of bodies you're leaving behind. The dead ones I won't hold against you. It's the ones you're sheltering.
Dead ones? I haven't killed anyone. We've had some vanish before we could secure them.
Then how do you explain the carcasses we've recovered?
So, okay, they thought that was S.H.I.E.L.D.
Energy weapon.
That's not us.
It's not us either.
Wait, is this still KG banter, or are we being honest all of a sudden?
If you're not killing these individuals, then who is?
Get your hand off me!
Is it Lincoln? Okay. Lincoln has actually been trying to kill off the heritage.
I'm not scared of
You should be.
Whoa. Lincoln, cool down.
This isn't me.
Another Inhuman?
Stop right there!
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Where to find the Inhuman? I don't know!
Soul sucking or something. Yeah. What the fuck? Is this Reyna? No way. It's gotta be something else. What is this? What is this? What the hell is happening? Okay, this is a cool ass fight. Dude, this dude's like fucking... I can't even tell what part of him is practical and what isn't. What the fuck?
I need a bigger gun, I guess. Or my axe.
Get that axe. Holy shit, that was so cool.
Oh, we're going in here? Yeah, that makes sense.
911, what's your emergency?
Great, now Now she knows about Lincoln too. He can't go back to his normal life.
If we're both getting the call, then I think we know what it's about.
But okay, so these guys might not be enemies, actually. He's got some, yeah.
Guess you guys didn't do all your homework.
That many.
But this guy doesn't seem confident enough to want to just come out and fight. He wants to get those, like, sneaking tactics. Oh. Okay. It's not doing anything. Even the force isn't doing anything. It's a great effect on the force, by the way. Like her tremors, or whatever we're calling them. I can't remember. Vibration. Smart.
We'll keep you safe. Your life is in danger.
My life is in ruins.
Lincoln!
Daisy, he's on his own. We gotta get you out of here. They're hunting you too. Come on, let's go.
But okay, so it was not Lincoln that was going around killing all of them. I'm glad, actually, because I was starting to really like him. I was like, oh man, are we making him into like a serial killer?
Want to tell me why you're not speaking to me?
You're not supposed to see the bride on the wedding day.
Oh. Okay, so this is what he meant. Mac.
So we're gonna do this or what?
Which he knew.
I asked for the ring back because I paid for it. Not as a meaningful gesture of any kind.
Call it what you will. But you've got the ring you once threw in my face, and we're shagging on the regular, so only thing missing is a piece of paper.
And your ring. Not that you know where it is.
I know exactly where it is. Just don't personally own the scuba diving equipment to retrieve it.
He threw it in the fucking ocean.
You don't care about the money. Colson's given me the green light. I've chased down all the Hydra intel I can.
Oh,
If my hunch is right, I need to get to ground.
It's on.
Good evening. I'm here tonight to address growing concerns among our citizens of the threats we face that are not of this world, filling our peaceful streets with chaos.
Bigger.
By executive order, I have created
Cool
a
to see Weaver
special
still here.
task force to neutralize these alien threats on our soil. The Advanced Threat Containment Unit, or ATC,
Oh.
will be given full license to act with whatever authority is necessary. The laws of nature have changed. And until the laws of man change to reflect that, we must do what we feel is right.
People really do answer to you, don't they?
Yeah. Wow.
I've lived with a secret before. I was miserable until I came out with it.
This secret, the world's not ready to hear.
Did Coulson leave his arm on the fucking train?
Every instrument scan showed the stone was solid all the way through. After hearing about the PIM Technologies disaster, you even thought she'd been reduced to a microscopic level. But no evidence supported that.
That's actually really interesting they brought up that.
I know. It's a black hole. It's dark matter made solid. It can warp space-time. Look, regardless, okay? This is going to tell us exactly what that monolith is.
Okay, okay. What's it gonna be? It's not gonna just be... Okay, yes.
Should we scan it? See if the computer can decipher what the...
Hebrew.
Oh.
It's just one word. Death.
We need to be able to move on.
How did you get more clear than that? Death.
You have shown so much heart, never giving up on Simmons, and I will always, always respect you for it. I miss her too. I'm having a hard time.
I don't know if I accept it at all.
I'm on my third hand. But nothing feels normal because nothing will feel normal. We have got to accept it. To say goodbye.
Good, good. It's good that he's actually coming to terms with this now. Even if there is still a chance or something, like we gotta have some closure. He's just gonna go into the room. Yikes. He's taking a shotgun. Fitz has lost it. What is this gonna do to him? Fitz, come on! Oh my god. And they're like, oh, he's not as crazy enough to go in there.
Do something! Do something!
Is nothing gonna happen? Holy shit! Holy shit, he can't even get it to do anything to him. But where the fuck is this? This is wherever Simmons is? What the fuck? Did you just teleport her somewhere? Or is this an alien world? Or how would she be breathing? Oh, to stop bleeding. Yeah. Dude, this like color effect too. Okay, so she is on some alien fucking planet. So yeah, it is some sort of like black hole teleported to an alien planet. Oh, the like lack of music for this. So like, that thing was probably an alien from this planet, maybe two, somehow, I don't know how that would work. But either way, it seems to also have some sort of, I don't know, it could be a teleporting ability, or could, I don't think it's teleporting, I think it just like erases material, matter. Okay. I will see you guys for the discussion for this one. Holy shit. Okay, so my, where do we want to start with this? My prediction of, like, that we were going to start off with some Inhumans and everything like that. I thought we were going to start off with a lot more, but there's so little that, like, we've only encountered 3 so far, at S.H.I.E.L.D. being we, have only encountered 3 so far. We know there's been plenty of others that have awakened, but, we have not been knowing about that because of this third party going around. But, yeah, I was expecting it to be way more of a, jumping into the middle of stuff happening, but we're actually right on the brink of it happening right now, which is cool. I'm sure they mentioned it at some point in the episode, but on my skim through I did not check. If somebody could let me know how long it's been since season 2, that would be dope. Thank you very much. Also, because I want to know how the fuck long has Simmons been on that alien planet? By herself there. Assumingly there's oxygen there, it seems. Also, I don't know if humans can breathe in space or not in the MCU. I don't know. This world, humans might be able to breathe in space. I don't know. The only evidence we have to counter that is Peter Quill in Guardians of the Galaxy, but he's not even wholly human. So he could just be part human, part something else that makes him not be able to breathe in space. It's so weird to think about, but I don't know if we ever have had an example of someone not being able to breathe in space, which is a wild thing to say, but how often would you have that in a series, right? You would assume, but I don't fucking know. But yeah, I assume this planet has a atmosphere, which if it does, how is that going to work? Like, where are they getting their oxygen? Is it mechanical? Is there trees or something like that giving it oxygen? Can most alien species, not need to breathe in space? It seems like, Thanos, does he need to fucking breathe in space? Don't fucking seem like it. So, why would humans? They're all humanoid. So, I don't know. We'll get into that in another point whenever we find out what the hell is up with that. At some point later on in the MCU. Not important, but yeah, I was curious to see how long Simmons was over there. If she's going to be able to find, how is she going to find food? She's going to be having to hunt down alien life probably and kill it and eat it, I assume. Which, how do you know that you're not going to die from that? You don't, you just got to do it. Man, it is, I cannot imagine how terrifying that would be. It is beyond the scope of possibility for me to be able to imagine how terrifying that would be. Okay, where do we go from there? I mean, let's stick with this stuff. Let's stick with the Simmons stuff. I was not expecting to get into the Simmons stuff immediately, but let's stick with it. Fits this episode. Huge change in him. Like, I actually like that we didn't get to see the moment when he found out. Because, we all know how that would go. We all can picture about how that would go. And I think the more interesting thing is how he would handle it afterwards, which is why we're just jumping into it now. And I suspected that was going to be the case, but, yeah, I suspected we were going to be, seeing a lot of the people at S.H.I.E.L.D. still dealing with it, but it seems like it's been long enough to where most of them have gotten over it because they have tried every possible way they could. You know, all evidence points to her not being there at all inside it, which she wasn't. She was teleported out. The death thing, what is up with that? Like, that is more probably what the monolith was used for in the first place, with the Kree and the Inhumans saying it's super dangerous and all that. Something like that. Don't know. But that's probably what the death is more, you know, related to. So, Fitz, it's not that he has, like, an incredible amount of balls this episode. He wasn't being brave. He was being, you know, insanely reckless. Not to say that he doesn't have a plan at all times, always, but he knew that, like, I'm going to be doing this by myself. This is incredibly dangerous. He does not give a shit if he dies anymore. You know, he's as I said, he's got a plan. He's doing what he can to try. He's not like, I want to die, but he doesn't care. And he's going to do whatever it takes as possible to find this out. And I really like that. Yeah, like, you know, I honestly, I can relate a lot to a character that feels dead inside if they are not with, you know, the person that makes life worth it. I get that. I'm in a pretty, you know, I have nightmares all the time of, like, if I am outside of my, like, if my partner dies, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, my life is probably going to be over at that point, and I'm going to do some crazy shit. I'm going to not care anymore. So I really like those kind of characters. I can relate very heavily to that, you know, not knowing what the fuck you would do after that. Yeah, for beyond like a normal relationship sort of thing. But yeah, so I don't think this monolith is going to take him. We left on the note of it didn't, and I don't think that it's going to be able to. I think someone's going to get Fitz out of there before something happens. But anyway, I think this monolith chooses, and it chose Simmons specifically for some reason. Don't know why, but, you know, not like it has a will of its own, but maybe some, like, circumstances caused specifically Simmons to be taken and not Fitz. I don't know. I don't know what it would be. I can't think of anything particularly that was going down that would have caused it, but, either way, he's not going to be able to go there to get her, so how do we even find out where she is? How does she come back on her own, maybe? She's fucking smart as hell. She could just figure out a way back somehow. I don't fucking know. I doubt it, but I could see it. Okay, so, all that aside, I just love Fitz's look this episode, assumingly this season. Just gotta say that. Really, really digging it. The filter over the alien world, love that. But, so, S.H.I.E.L.D. is still far from ideal. But, you know, I was hoping they were going to be a lot better, and they are a lot better, but they're still not ideal, right? We are still pretty aggressive and pretty, just morally not great towards but, like, you know, that is the point. I'm not saying this is like a, you know, that is the point. The themes of this show definitely seem to be, you know, the show does not want me to be fully in S.H.I.E.L.D.'s favor. It's the show wants me to always be questioning S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, I would say that I don't know. The audience for my reactions definitely seems to have a different opinion, but I don't care. The show really feels like it does not want you to think that S.H.I.E.L.D. is a good group. Audience really feels like the opposite, but I'm trusting the show more than I trust the audience. That's the themes I get, and that's the themes I'm sticking with. Put a man in a box, man gonna come out a box worse. That really feels like the themes of just the MCU in general. Put a man in a box, man gonna come out a box worse. We have seen that time and time again throughout all of S.H.I.E.L.D. But, like, that is why, that is the show, right? We need put man in a box, but if we put man in a box, man gonna come out a box worse. So the whole show, I assume, seasons later from now, like, the whole show is really trying to solve that one question. What do, instead of put man in box? That's all S.H.I.E.L.D. is. It's just what do instead of put man in box. But, like, I don't have the exact answer either. There is no easy answer. But the answer is 100% not put put the man in the box. It's just what they do, and then all the characters are, you know, dealing with, we put man in box, but I don't like putting man in box. I don't know. I wanted to talk about this for a long time. Again, talking at the beginning of this video about, like, Season 2, I feel like there was a big divide between me and the audience, and I don't want that to be the case. I like the audience for S.H.I.E.L.D. It has the biggest audience on the channel, and it has the most interactivity in terms of being able to talk with you guys, and blah, 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 blah. And I really love the community for S.H.I.E.L.D., but, you know, I don't know. You guys fight me a lot on that sort of shit, which I find crazy, because it's that seems this, like, I've been, you know, I've been talking about, I've been rewatching Lost a lot. S.H.I.E.L.D. has a lot of influence from Lost. Lost is not a show where you're supposed to be saying, like, all the main characters are all great and I love them and they're morally great. You know, Lost is a show where all the characters are assholes and extremely morally questionable. Just like all the characters in, not all the characters, but a lot of the characters in S.H.I.E.L.D., you know, in the organization S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, and the whole show, but still, you get what I'm saying. In the organization S.H.I.E.L.D., a lot of the characters are assholes and have very questionable morals, but it's not oh, I hate this character because they're an asshole and they have questionable morals. I love the character because they're an asshole and they have questionable morals. That's the point. Like, Coulson, I don't think we're supposed to, it's insane to me if we're supposed to think that Coulson is a great guy. He has good intentions. Just like, you know, characters in Lost, you can say, oh, they have good intentions, blah, 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 but they're not good people. Just Coulson's not a good person, and that's why I like him. But, okay, all that aside, let's talk about the ATCU. We got this new woman, Rosalind. Very interested in them and her as a villain this season, because we don't really have any reason to have any beef between, you know, us and them right now. Now, at the end of the episode, maybe a little bit more. You know, when she says, oh, you know, people listen to me, blah, 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 is that a thing where she, you know, the president is sort of, how do I put this? Was Coulson correct there? Is that her influencing the president, or was that the president, you know, hiring her and this team, and now she is echoing what the president was saying? I assume it's the former, but it could equally as, you know, be the latter. So we don't truly have any beef between the two, you know, between the two organizations right now, but there's definitely could be, which is why I say I'm interested in seeing how she is as a villain this season, because I don't know if she will be a villain. They already pulled the twist on us once, they could pull another twist on us again. That's what they love to do. But yeah, so I did love her throwing the KGB line, you know, talking about all the shit we just talked about. S.H.I.E.L.D. tactics, extremely KGB. Oh yeah, Hunter and Bobby, sorry, let's do a little tangent real quick. I know I was talking to ACU, but Hunter and Bobby getting married really surprised the hell out of me, and I enjoy this a lot. I like that we're not putting a name on it, you know, quote unquote, we're not putting a name on it. Because, like, the only thing missing, you know, as Hunter says, the only thing missing is the paper. But, and the paper is the part that matters 0% to a marriage. A marriage, the paper matters not at all. It doesn't matter. It's bullshit. A marriage is bullshit. It's retarded. It's, you know, the legality of it, you know, it's entirely a religious bullshit thing. So, being married as we are married, we're just not, you know, we just haven't signed the paper. That is ostensibly the exact same as marriage. As Hunter says, what else, like, what are we doing that isn't marriage? I get that all the time. I have to say, you know, oh, my fiance constantly, but it's like, that's just because we're not actually married right now, mainly because of COVID, and yeah, it's just like, marriage is bullshit, you know, what people consider marriage to be. But all this said, I think Ward's gonna kill him. I think Ward's gonna kill Hunter. I could just be a red herring. I hope it's a red herring, but I think he ain't making it out of the season, Hunter. I don't think he's making it out of the season. I really hope so, but, because I dig him a lot. I love him. You know, he is probably one of the most questionable moral people. Like, I liked how, you know, against S.H.I.E.L.D. he was at the beginning, whereas now he is completely you know, unquestioning, he will just do whatever Coulson wants 100%. He's like best buds with Coulson now, which, I don't know, I love it on a comedic sense, and that's why I love him, but, you know, very questionable how much he has changed in a bad way. We got the new bus that can spend days up in the air now. Daisy has new bracers and an outfit that looks dope as fuck, and it is going to take me some getting used to calling her Daisy. I'm sure I'm going to slip up and say Sky plenty of times, but yeah. It probably would have been so much easier going from Season 2 to Season 3, but because I took a big break between Season 2 and Season 3, and we only started calling her Daisy at the very end of Season 2, it's going to take some getting used to. Especially because I talk about S.H.I.E.L.D. primarily with my fiance who is not seen S.H.I.E.L.D., so he knows Sky is Sky, so I call her Scott. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. So, back to the ATCU and Rosalind and everything. I loved the making us think that she is going around and taking out all of these Inhumans before we can get to them, and we're trying to save them from her, and you know, as we saw with how they were treating Joey in this episode, which, again, well, I'll get to that in a second, but then we have the switch of like, oh no, it's not the ATCU, it's Lincoln, actually. Lincoln's the one going around killing all these people, and you can see, you could, like, you can sort of see a, like, why he might, right? If he's, like, with what he was saying there, and it's like, oh, you know, does he mean that, like, even worse than that? Like, you know, oh, I don't want to be a part of the Inhuman, like, we should erase our heritage, or, you know, fuck our heritage and all that. Like, is he actually trying to erase it and stuff? Like, you know. But no, it wasn't him. It was this third-party fucking Sonic the Hedgehog, or sorry, Shadow the Hedgehog, demon-looking alien-ass motherfucker, stealing souls out of people, ripping the soul out of their body to where it rips out of their chest. He's fucking, like, just erasing matter in a wall, and holy shit, this guy, what the hell? That fight was insanity. They are kicking it off with an insane bang for Season 3, and it's only gonna get wickedier, wacketier, and wilder as it goes on. Ugh, this season's gonna be nuts, and we're only on Season 3. Man, this show is, I cannot even imagine what the show is gonna be like in the later seasons. I mean, this is nothing, but just seeing that, you know, compared to what I can imagine is going to be later on, this has got to be nothing. Like, this is such a small fight. It's just like this demon dude and then two people powers, but, like, just getting that already in episode 1 makes me so hyped. Yeah, the like, I loved those, like, constant switches, you know, with who was the person killing the Inhumans. Really interesting, you know, way to do this episode. Loved that. What else? Yeah, so I guess that it was an alien. I'm assuming it's an alien. I don't think it's an Inhuman. Could be an Inhuman. It also could be a Kree, but I don't think it's a Kree. Like, it's blue, so maybe, but I don't know. It doesn't look like any Kree we've ever seen before. So, I'm assuming it's an alien from the same planet that Simmons is from. I don't have any real basis for that. I don't know how they would do a switcheroo or anything like that. But that's my guess. And I don't know why I'm guessing that, but I am. So, we also got introduced to Joey this episode, our Inhuman, who, you know, is suddenly being thrust upon him and all that. He can manipulate metal within a certain radius, it seems. Now, the whole theme of this episode, right? Another big thing we're bringing up this whole episode is that they're not ready. We brought that back up in Season 2 also. You know, they're not ready for this yet. Just in the same way that I was not ready for Coulson to be the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., right? You can make him the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. all you want, but in universe, if I was a character, out of universe, totally fine. In universe, if I was a character, I would not be accepting that at all. It would be way too early for me to accept that, because aliens are not a normal thing. You know, they're way too weird in universe. But, again, same thing with Joey here, with the Inhumans. They are not ready, as we see with the world, they are not ready for the Inhumans yet. They are not ready to learn yet. That said, you gotta make them. You gotta make them. That's just how history works. If you want people to accept you, you're gonna have to make them accept you. There is no waiting for people to come around to you, waiting for people to accept you. You gotta either make them, or it ain't gonna happen, right? And I'm saying this for myself too, with the Coulson being in the alien position. The only way that I'm gonna accept it is if you just do it, and I don't have a fucking choice about it, like is happening. Like, that's just how shit changes. So, you know, it's the whole put a man in a box. Man gonna come out of the box worse. If we we're gonna keep doing this to Inhumans, telling them like it's not time, it's not time, it's not time, and then eventually they're gonna say it's fucking time, and we're gonna get a Jiang situation again. So it's really it's really again the question of what do we do instead of put man in box? What do we do instead of tell them they're not ready? You know. What is the alternative? When do you have the pushback? Because the pushback is gonna happen. It's gonna happen at some point. It's unavoidable. You can't avoid it. But when do you do it? You can either knowingly say, alright, let's just let the Inhumans terror genocide around the world and cause some crazy shit to happen. Or do you say, let's try and contain them and then tell them to try and repress it? Or do you try and, you know, find them when they've terror genesis, help them through it, let them back into the world, and if anybody's got a fucking problem with it, then they can fucking talk to their fucking metal manipulation. You know, also, like, yeah, I don't know, man, I love Daisy. I love Daisy. I think she's had the character with the least questionable morals in the entire series, but, man, her using her, like, what is the name for it? Is it just vibrations? Is that, like, the name of her power? Vibrations? You know, I don't know. If we have a name for what it is called, then sure. I liked Tremors a lot, but I think Vibrations is just, you know, capital V Vibrations is what we'll go with. But either way, when she did that against Joey in the unit there, when it's like, okay, Mac's there, and you're there, you are both trained... You are essentially trained military professionals. S.H.I.E.L.D. is basically has military training. Sky is essentially has military training at this point, in terms of, like, physical, being able to take somebody down and everything like that. So, his ability is metal manipulation, which was only the clipboard. Like, what were you afraid of in that moment, Daisy? You know, that was why? You could restrain him with your own physical muscles. Mac could. He wasn't, like, you know, being aggressive. He was just being loud. I don't know. That scene was like, yikes, Daisy. You've been very not, you know, morally questionable for a long time, but that was a little bit questionable, morally questionable. Anything else we got to talk about this episode? I think we covered pretty much everything. Yeah, I'm very excited for the season. Very excited for what we're doing with the Inhumans. I wasn't that into the Inhumans last season. You know, I was like, this is going to be kind of interesting. But, you know, this season really, this episode really sold me on, you know, the Inhumans being interesting as a plot. Not just as characters, but as a plot. Yeah, I think that's it. I will see you guys. Oh, also, I said it in my reaction, but I'm loving Lincoln a lot more this episode. Ended season 2 going, I don't want him and Sky to get together. I don't like him at all. Ended this episode going, still don't want her and Sky to get together. Him and Daisy to get together. But, I like Lincoln a lot as a character now. I like what they're doing with him. I'm curious to see where they're going to go with him, though. So I'll see you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.